Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. So I have the almost 900 pages of the document, the discovery that was released last week from the Ninth Circuit in Osceola County, Florida. So I'm going to go through it. I don't know how many days it's going to take, how many videos it's going to take to go through. I know there are some pages, like glanced through it, that are redacted, pretty highly redacted, and there's like some other stuff. So, but it's definitely going to take a few days for sure. So with that said, let's jump into it. So again, this is a long discovery document. This is page 1 of 896. And a lot of them, some of them have a lot more redacted than others, so, and some of them are going to be easier to sift through because there's not much to really read. This is kind of like a cover sheet from the state attorney's office, Andrew Bain. Just goes over it's for defendant Stephan Michael Sterns, and it gives his case number, and it states what this document contains. Obviously, there's no body camera footage, no bank account, debit, and credit card numbers. Nothing really regarding identifying information of a witness to murder. So there's a lot of information here, but there's certain things that are not a part of this particular document discovery job. And there is supplement reports here from the Osceola County Sheriff's Office under Sheriff Marcos Lopez. And for those that are not aware, Kissimmee and St. Cloud are under Osceola County, and so obviously Kissimmee Police Department is the lead agency on this case, and initially Orange County had it because she was reported missing from Hunters Creek Middle School. That's in Orange County, just like about 10 or so minutes away from their home, their condo there in Kissimmee. And then St. Cloud is in Osceola County, so that would be the reason that Osceola County Sheriff's Office would be involved in multiple parts of this particular case. And here is a statement. Looks like this would be the owner of the property where Maddie was found. I don't know why they don't have this person's name redacted, so in their actual address. So we know the address because it's on Hickory Tree Road, but yeah, please don't bother these poor people if it's not redacted here. But basically it's just saying made contact with the deputies who were conducting an investigation, gave them permission to go onto the property to do their job. So the owner's just saying, hey, you can come on there and search, do whatever you need to do. Which is what most people are going to do if you're searching for a missing, potentially deceased person, especially a child. Here's more paperwork, waivers, and affidavits. And looks like the officer that was handling this particular portion is Officer Johnson, Deputy Johnson, being it's a sheriff's office. And he's giving the rights to search the property on Hickory Tree Road in St. Cloud. And there's a lot that's not really filled out here, but it looks like it was filled out pretty quickly because it looks pretty scratched up there, like, just chicken scratch. And then we've got the crime scene contamination sheet. These are anybody who entered the crime scene, as it says here. Any and all persons entering a crime scene, including the first deputy on the scene, are required to print their name and state the reason they entered the scene in these spaces listed below. This is to aid in the elimination of fingerprints and footwear impressions at the scene. So obviously they're going to try not to contaminate a crime scene, but it's possible that anyone coming onto it could leave, parts of themselves, and it happens, so obviously. And then we're listing all these folks here who went on the scene. You've got, forensics, you've got KPD detectives, the ME transports. And what interests me is this poor lady here. She works with forensics. Don't know if she works for forensics in Osceola County Sheriff's or Kissimmee Police Department, but her name is Jennifer Soto. So that's not Maddie's mom. That is an employee of the local law enforcement. Then we've got homicide detectives, it looks like, and the actual ME right there at the bottom. And then this looks like it's telling you all the responding officers who were at the scene. It's just going into, I guess, their unit numbers, their information. So just documenting that they were there. And here's a supplemental report from Deputy Sheriff Johnson. He states on March 1st, 2024 at 17:16 hours, I responded to 5670 Hickory Tree Road, St. Cloud, Florida 34772 in reference to a missing person. Upon arrival, I provided scene security due to an ongoing investigation. I completed a crime scene log for all persons entering the scene. Contact was then made with Hardy Demek, who was the landowner witness who provided a sworn witness statement and completed a consent to search affidavit. Both documents were submitted for processing, and this concluded my involvement in the above incident. And here is a supplement report from the crime scene analyst supervisor, D. Sutta. States on 3/1/2024, approximately 14:30 hours, I was contacted by Major Hinderman and requested to respond to the American Classic Charter School located at 2395 Hickory Tree Road, St. Cloud, Florida 34772 to assist with the search for a missing juvenile as an asset to Kissimmee Police Department. Upon arrival, I was tasked with identifying areas of interest to search on a map based on tips received and video footage obtained. At approximately 1600 hours, I was contacted by Lieutenant Eager, who advised he was sending a male in a white truck to the command post to give me information regarding a possible area of interest. At 1605 hours, I was contacted by Mr. Karras. Again, I don't know why this poor gentleman's name is not redacted and his phone number is not redacted, so please don't contact these people. I know most of you guys aren't, but just want to put that out there. He advised that he had seen the news conference earlier this date and wanted to report a possible sighting of the suspect vehicle from Monday, February 26, 2024. He stated he saw the suspect vehicle, a silver sedan, pulled off Hickory Tree Road and a subject with a tire iron in his hand, wearing a black shirt and green hat on backwards, standing near the vehicle, and he had made eye contact with the suspect. He stated was not exactly sure of the time, but it was around 13:20 hours in the afternoon. I asked Mr. Karras if he would mind stepping out of his vehicle and showing me on a map of the exact location. Using my agency-issued laptop, I pulled up a satellite view of Hickory Tree Road around Alberton Road, and Mr. Karras navigated the map to the location he saw the subject at on Monday, February 26, 2024. The latitude and longitude of the location he pointed out were noted, and Mr. Karras shared via airdrop to my work cell phone photos he took of the spot that day, which is March 1st, 2024, for reference. Those photos were later emailed to Kissimmee PD. The location provided by Mr. Karras was passed along to Sergeant Swan, Captain Magone, and Major Hinderman as a point of interest at the command post. I was also contacted by Detective Lorenzano while on the scene at the command post. He advised he had collected video from 4085 Malloway Trail, St. Cloud, and asked if I could have it reviewed for a sighting on the vehicle. I watched 3 of the time frames he provided and found a possible match to the suspect vehicle traveling north on Hickory Tree Road in one of the clips attached to the email with a time frame of 1356 to 1405. That clip containing the vehicle was forwarded to Kissimmee PD. I advised Kissimmee PD that I didn't watch further, but there was additional video they want to if there's additional video should they want to reach out to the resident at that address. This concludes my involvement on this case. So he got the video and passed it along, and that was his extent of his involvement. And here's another supplement report from Sergeant Swan. On March 1st, 2024, this agency received information that a possible subject involved in a missing persons case was in Osceola County. The subject was seen by a witness in the area of 5670 Hickory Tree Road in St. Cloud, Florida, changing a tire. The witness pointed to the area on a map where he saw the vehicle parked off the side of the road. Captain Magone and I arrived in the above area at approximately 1628 hours. I noticed locked gates on the east and west side of the road. Knowing the area and the property owner, I called the property owner Hardy Demick. Hardy advised he was 2 minutes away. Hardy arrived at 1630 hours. Hardy advised we had full permission to enter his property and he unlocked both the east and west gates. Hardy explained how to lock the gates back once we were done. Hardy left, returning to work. Later, after providing consent, Hardy signed a consent to search his properties and completed a sworn written statement. Captain Magone and I entered the property on the west side of Hickory Tree Road. We walked to the north for a few minutes near round hay bales covered in plastic. We then went to the left, south side of the gate, where there is a long line of tall bamboo trees. Captain Magone noticed just a few feet into the bamboo tree line what appeared to be blue jeans. As we got closer, we noticed what appeared to be a body. The top half of the body was covered by a green-colored hooded sweatshirt, and the bottom half was covered with blue jeans. The body was laying on the left side in somewhat of a fetal position. It appeared that the body was covered by pieces of hay or dry grass. Based on my training and expertise, it was apparent that this was a human body. I did not see any signs of life. I could clearly see flies covering the body. Captain Magone and I walked out of the gate and used crime scene tape to secure the scene. Deputy Chris Johnson responded to assist, and a crime scene log was started. Kissimmee Police Department responded to the scene along with forensics, and the investigation was turned over to them. Please see Donna Sitte's supplement for the witness information. Yeah, this is a lot. Remember that both Sterns and Jennifer Soto, were describing what Maddie was supposedly wearing that morning. Now, they got the green sweatshirt correct, but remember how they were insistent on that she was wearing shorts? But then that body cam, Sterns actually first says she was wearing pants like black or blue. And then, of course, Jennifer goes, no, it was shorts, like black shorts. So, it makes me wonder if Jen actually did see her, or she just went by whatever her boyfriend told her. So again, I don't know, but yeah. And it's also weird for me because I've been at the scene, and I know if anyone else who's listening has been to the memorial out there, it's at the scene, and obviously it's a fence line and a gate. And when I was there, I looked in there, and I could see this scene in my mind's eye as I read their report there. So, yeah, it's really sad to know that sweet Maddie, this 13-year-old who was being horribly abused for years, was brutally killed and just dumped in brush like nothing. It's awful. Okay, and here's, just looks like this is just some, this looks like it might be some error information for call detail. Okay, so this looks like there's our calls going out to the officers and whoever's responding to the scene. So not really much of, interest for us. Obviously, it just needs to be on the record. And these look like these are some of the call outs, things that were going on that were stated. And it continues through here. So that's why some of the pages would be easier to kind of go through than others. And then it looks like they received the complainant call there, and then they're stating that the service call. So, and really, again, thanks to that witness who, the cameras and all helped, but that witness who called in the tip that he saw Sterns changing that flat tire, I mean, that was like huge. It's amazing. All right, and then here's more supplement reports. It looks like here's some signatures. This is from Sergeant Swan. And here's a property evidence form. This was done by Soto. So again, that she works with like the crime scene forensics. So this is what she looks like. She collected tire fragments from marker 1, tire fragment from marker 2, and then some crime scene photographs. So, And looks like it has her signature here and what have you. And then there's also on a USB drive, it looks like they've got Faro scans. And remember, we've heard about that where they put a camera up and it can get like a complete view of a crime scene. That was I really talked about that during the when they did the Idaho 4 home, that house. They had Faro cameras out there. So this obviously being a much smaller scene, not as detailed, it probably didn't take them that long to do a complete Faro scan of Hickory Tree, right around there. More stuff. There's major case prints collected from, and that's been redacted, so I don't know if that's Stearns or who that exactly is. Let's see. Another signature affidavit from someone that works intelligence. Let's see. There's an incident report. Again, some of this stuff does not have much that we can go through. All right, but here is an incident report. All right, background. On February 26, 2024, at approximately 18:53 hours, the Orange County Sheriff's Office received a call for service referencing a missing juvenile. At approximately 19:48 hours, Deputy Frankie Joseph responded to, I'm going to guess that is Jen's mom's business, they're referencing there, in reference to a missing 13-year-old juvenile later identified as, and I believe that would be Madeline Soto. Deputy Joseph made contact with Madeline's mother, Jennifer Soto, who advised the following in a verbal and sworn written statement. On February 26, 2023, and that is wrong, it should be 2024. They had a typo there. At approximately 800 hours, she blank redacted, observed redacted, getting dressed for school. At approximately 0830 hours, Redacted's boyfriend, so that would be Jen's boyfriend, Stephan Sterns, took Maddie to school and dropped her off near the intersection of Town Loop Boulevard and Hunters Park Lane. At approximately 1600 hours, Jennifer went to, I'm going to think that says Hunters Creek Middle School, in an attempt to pick up Madeline. However, Madeline never came out of the school. Jennifer searched the area for Madeline, and after not finding her, she went to, and I'm going to assume again that that is her mom's tax business. So I'm kind of guessing on those, but I think I'm pretty correct. If you guys think I'm not, let me know. Deputy Joseph made contact with Stephan Sterns, who advised the following in a verbal and sworn written statement. On February 26th, again, that's 2024, guys. At approximately 0825 hours to 0840 hours, Stephan dropped Maddie off approximately 1 block away from her school. Stephan watched Maddie leave his vehicle and walk in the direction of her school. As Stephan was driving away, he saw what appeared to be Madeline searching through her book bag. Stephan didn't think anything of it due to Maddie usually looking through her bag to find headphones so he could put them in before going to school. Stephan then drove to a vape shop, however it was closed, and drove to his residence. Stephan was home for approximately an hour before he traveled back to the vape shop. After buying vape juice, Stephan returned home and hung out with Jennifer. Stephan then went out to run errands and returned home at approximately 14:30 hours. And we know that all this is bunk. All this is garbage. It's all a story. Deputy Joseph then responded to Redacted with an Orange County Sheriff's Office K-9 unit to collect a clothing article belonging to Maddie. I'm thinking that may be their home address. And headed back to the intersection of Town Loop Boulevard and Hunters Park Lane, which was the last known location of Maddie was seen, and began a track. The track yielded negative results. You remember we saw the video when I showed all the body cams of the dog really having no luck and really not very focused to begin with. Maddie was described as 5 foot 1 inch, approximately 110 pounds, with blue eyes, fair skin, and blonde hair. According to Stephan and I'm guessing Jennifer, Maddie was last seen wearing a green hoodie, black shorts, and white Crocs. Again, black shorts. Nope, wrong. And they didn't even find both those Crocs there. Madeline was entered into Omri Source and later into Teletype as a missing endangered juvenile by Glessner, 2314. Madeline's BOLO number is, and there's a BOLO number. Deputy Joseph contacted the on-call domestic crime detective. It should be noted, personnel assigned to domestic crime squad conduct missing persons investigations. Detective Francis Hunt was notified and coordinated the initial patrol response, subsequently advising Deputy Joseph to route the report to the missing persons squad. On February 27, 2024, Detective F. Hunt was notified. Maddie did not report to school. At this time, Detective Hunt made contact with Jennifer and Stephan. Please see his supplemental report for further details. Investigative detail. On February 27th, 2024, at approximately 1600 hours, I Detective M. Tagler was notified of the missing person investigation and responded to assist with canvassing. I responded to the initial command post located at 5100 Town Center Boulevard, Orlando, Florida. Upon my arrival, I was tasked to speak with Stephan Sterns with Detective L. Acosta. Before speaking with Stephan, I was advised the vehicle he was driving, a 2010 silver Lincoln MKZ bearing Florida tag, IYLL82, had been seen in the following locations. February 26, southbound on South John Young Parkway and Osceola County line at 8:10 hours. Southbound on South John Young Parkway and Osceola County line at 10:05 hours. Southbound on South John Young Parkway and Osceola County line at 11:48 hours. Eastbound on US 192 and Pecan Street at 13:05 hours. Westbound on US 192 and Academy Drive at 14:23 hours. Yeah, he definitely was a busy bee that day. He wasn't doing everything he said he was doing, but he was still a busy bee there, Sterns. Interview with Stephan Sterns. On February 27th, 2024, Detective Acosta and I conducted a digitally recorded sworn interview with Stephan Sterns at, I'm going to assume that's their home address there at the condo, well, Jennifer and Maddie's home. Because remember, Stephan doesn't live there really, he just kind of mooches off of them and his parents in South Florida. Below is a synopsis of his statement. Now, we did hear this audio, but this is in report form here. Stephan currently resides in Northport, Florida, but comes to Kissimmee, Florida, occasionally to spend time with Jennifer and Maddie. On February 25th, 2024, at approximately 20:45 hours, Stephan arrived at redacted and redacted's residence. I'm assuming that's Maddie and Jennifer's residence, located at, and that's their address. When he arrived, Jennifer was still at work, and he directed Maddie to get ready for bed. Once Jennifer arrived, she informed Stephan and Maddie she would like to sleep in and directed them to sleep upstairs in the guest room. The following morning, Stephan and Maddie woke up at approximately 0700 to 0715 hours to get an early start so they could purchase food from McDonald's before school. Maddie and he left the residence between 0730 and 7:45 hours and headed toward the McDonald's located at 14001 Town Loop Boulevard, Orlando, Florida. On the way to McDonald's, Maddie slept the entire time, and once in the area, Stephan asked her if she still wanted McDonald's, to which she stated she did not. Yeah. These are all lies, as we've learned. Stephan drove past McDonald's and headed towards the school. Stephan dropped Maddie off at the right side of the road, near the community south of State Road 417 overpass between 8:20 and 8:40 hours. According to Stephan, Maddie was going through a phase which led her to be embarrassed of his vehicle and did not like to be dropped off at school in it. Maddie then informed Stephan she was going to go hang out with her friends, and Stephan did not question it since it was not unusual for kids to hang out before school. Stephan let Maddie out of the vehicle and told her to have a good day, love you, to which she replied, thanks, love you too. Stephan turned around and watched in the rearview mirror as Maddie rummaged through her backpack as she walked in the direction of the school. Stephan assumed Maddie was looking for headphones, but later realized that she had forgotten her phone. Stephan continued to observe Maddie walk toward the direction of the school. At this point, Detective Acosta showed Stephan a map of the area where he alleged he dropped Maddie off for school. According to Stephan, he dropped her off on the sidewalk at the intersection of Lily Cove Lane and Town Loop Boulevard. Stephan stated this was maybe the 5th or 6th time he had dropped her off, and it was common for her to ask to be dropped off near the school. According to Stephan, Maddie enjoyed the cold weather, and at the time he dropped her off, she was wearing her hoodie. Yeah, these detectives weren't buying any of this stuff. You can totally tell when you listen to the audio. I asked Stephan if he pulled into the McDonald's plaza, to which he advised he did not, because she said she did not want McDonald's. I then asked if at any point he made a U-turn, and Stephan stated he made a U-turn at the church parking lot to try and sell her on the McDonald's one more time, because he was still hungry. Maddie informed Stephan she just wanted to go to school, therefore they turned back around. According to Stephan, he made the U-turn in the church parking lot located at 13502 Town Loop Boulevard, Orlando, Florida. Detective Acosta showed Stephan a map that showed the school and the McDonald's and asked Stephan to show him on the map his direction of travel. Yeah, he can't say he went to McDonald's because he didn't, and we all know there's cameras there, so he definitely had to leave that out. But they caught him no matter what, all these other cameras, so it's really hard to commit a crime and not get caught on camera anymore. Stephan stated he was bad at reading maps, but he believed they came across Town Loop Boulevard. Stephan stated that when he drives to the school, he usually takes John Parkway and makes a left turn when he sees the McDonald's onto the same road the school is on. According to Stephan, he uses landmarks to get to the school since he does not know the street names. Yeah, I don't know them either exactly. It's pretty easy to get there though. I can definitely tell you the easy way he took, and it is down. If you were to take her, it would be straight down John Young and then left there by the McDonald's. Stephan again stated Maddie said no to McDonald's and they had time to kill. Now that, looking back, that really is ironic to me, the wording. They had time to kill. I wonder if that's a slip from him, huh? Therefore, he made a U-turn, probably by the church, and asked her if she wanted McDonald's again. When he dropped her off, Stephan asked her if it was okay for her to stay this early, and Maddie reassured him that it was and that she wanted to wait for her friends to get there. Stephan told her to have a good day, and I loved her, and she said she loved me too. Yeah, in your dreams, Stephan. And turned around to leave and could see Maddie in his rearview mirror walking toward the direction of the school as she rummaged through her backpack. After leaving the area of Maddie's school, Stephan went to the local vape shop because he needed more vape juice. The vape shop was not yet open, therefore he went back to his residence at approximately 100 hours. Stephan hung out with Jen for a little while, and approximately an hour later went back out to the vape shop. At this time, the vape shop was open and he was able to purchase the item he needed. At around 1100 hours, Stephan went back to his residence and hung out with Jennifer again. I asked Stephan if Jennifer was home the first time he returned, to which he said, yes, I think so, and then stated he was not sure because she had a blood appointment at some point during the day and apologized, stating, sorry, everything is a blur. I'm sure it is. Stephan then stated he believed she was home because she was trying to sleep in as much as she could because she was messed up with her work schedule. Again, if you re-listen to this interview, it's really telling. It's a lot of telling stuff to me. Some of these words I don't think are by mistake. I think he just kind of slipped. Let's see. I asked Stephan if he recalled what time he went to the vape shop, and he advised he believed around 1100 hours, and stating it was only a 10-minute drive. Stephan stated the shop was called E-Smoker Online Vape Shop, which is located at 13651 Hunters Oak Drive, Orlando, Florida. After making the purchase, Stephan returned home where he remained until approximately 1245 hours. At that time, Stephan left the residence, heading to the area of US 192 to run several errands. Let's see. Jennifer had mentioned to Stephan she wanted to make a BJ's wholesale club list and wanted Stephan to be back in time to go with her to pick up Madeline. While on US 192, Stephan visited some card shops because he is a nerd, and there was a new card that had been released. I think he was into that card stuff and all that because of the kids. It was part of his nasty perversions. Ugh. Stephan stated he visited Coliseum Comics, stopped at a couple of Targets, and was going to the House of Rules games on Oak Street in US 192. Stephan advised he did not make it that far because he got a flat tire. I asked Stephan where he got his flat tire, and he informed me it was on US 192, and he had pulled into one of the plazas. Stephan then stated it had been about 10 years since he changed a tire, and had made many rookie mistakes in this process, and ended up pinning his thumb between the jack and the frame. I asked Stephan which plaza he pulled into, and he stated he was not sure, but he believed it was before Oak Street. Nope. Stephan then stated he did not make it back in time because he got a flat tire, and Jennifer left to pick up Madeline without him. Stephan called Jennifer to tell her what happened and apologized profusely for not being back in time to go with her to pick up Madeline. Once back at the residence, Stephan hung out and straightened the apartment as he waited for Jennifer and Madeline. See, all these are lies, because if he really had a flat tire, which I think he might have, Oak Street is so far away from St. Cloud where he got rid of her body. No. The Oak Street is still in Kissimmee, so he didn't stop in a plaza on Oak Street. He did not. I then asked Stephan if this was normal for Madeline to not have her phone, to which he replied Madeline was severely ADHD, as her mother and he. Stephan advised due to this, it was not unusual for her to forget her phone. I asked Stephan if she was on medication for ADHD, and she stated she normally took her medication but had not done so the week prior due to her being in her grandparents' residence most of the week, resulting in Madeline being very spacey. Stephan then stated Jennifer's hours had changed at work, which was why he had driven up there to help. As Detective Acosta was reviewing the map, Stephan asked if he had messed up his streets again and reiterated he was bad about streets in the Hunters Creek area. Yeah, that's a good excuse, right? Oh, I don't really know the streets, I don't really know them, so I'm sorry if I screwed up. Oh, I'm really sorry. Yeah, I do wonder if the fact that she wasn't taking her medication caused part of the issue for why he went after her that night too. I think something happened once they went upstairs and she said no, or her medication gave her more strength without being on her medication. Definitely she didn't do what he wanted her to do. I informed Stephan. He mentioned he made a U-turn at the church to see if she wanted McDonald's again, to which he agreed. I asked Stephan if he had gone anywhere else since they had time to kill, to which he stated no. I asked Stephan if there was any reason why he would be back on Jeongnam Parkway, and he stated when they tried to going to the McDonald's a second time, he would have made a left instead and looped around. I asked Stephan to show me on the map what he was referring to. Stephan stated he was originally going north on Jeongnam Parkway, turned left at the McDonald's, which is Town Loop Boulevard, towards the school, and made the U-turn at the median located at Lily Cove Lane and Town Loop Boulevard. Stephan then went back to McDonald's with still time to kill, and she again stated she did not want McDonald's, so he gave her a cheese Danish pastry he had from home. Stephan headed north on Jeongnam Parkway, turning eastbound on Town Center Boulevard, and made a right towards the school. I asked Stephan if he recalled what time he dropped her off, and he advised he estimated it was around 8:20 and 8:40 hours. I asked Stephan if he had the Google Maps application on his phone, and he advised he did, but he was not mapping it at the time. Anything to not really be sure. Anything. Oh, I wasn't really mapping it. I don't really know the area, but I don't use the maps. I don't use my GPS. At this time, I asked Stephan if he would mind if I looked at his map to see, to which he stated he did not, unlocking his phone, and handed it to me. As I reviewed Stephan's Google map, Detective Acosta confirmed once again the route he took that morning. Detective Acosta informed Stephan he stated he had gone up Jeongnam Parkway through Town Center Boulevard and made a right on Town Loop Boulevard before he dropped her off before the underpass south of the church. Stephan again stated Maddie enjoyed the morning walks when the weather was cold, and how she did not like to get dropped off in his car because it was an image thing. Stephan informed Detective Acosta the bell usually rings around 9:15, and he had dropped her off that morning earlier than the typical since they had made really good time. Stephan again confirmed watching Maddie walk toward the direction of the school. I asked Stephan if he would mind if I checked that he was logged into his Google account, and he replied that he was not logged on, but it was okay for me to check. While I looked through Stephan's Google history, Detective Acosta continued to speak with Stephan. Stephan advised Detective Acosta the morning he dropped Maddie off to school, she had her school laptop, which should be still with her. Stephan described Madeline's backpack as black with grayish hibiscus flowers on it. Detective Acosta asked Stephan if Maddie had ever run away for any amount of time, to which he stated Madeline was very independent on them and would probably not know what to do. Very dependent, on them, and would probably not know what to do if she were to run away. Stephan also stated Madeline was not the type to run away, and she was a good kid. Stephan informed Detective Acosta that Maddie had been tested a while ago and showed signs of being on the spectrum of autism, and had been diagnosed with autism, but was later advised she was not autistic. I confirmed with Stephan he used Google Maps for directions, to which he stated, yes, go places, search addresses, look at store hours, write reviews. It's a pretty new phone, though. As I looked through Stephan's Google Maps account, I noticed he did not have recorded travel on the account consistent with the driving he informed us he had done on February 26th and February 27th, 2024. I asked Stephan when he had returned to the area to assist Jennifer, and he stated it was on February 25th, 2024, at approximately 20-30 hours, just in time to make sure she was doing all of her nightly routines as they waited for Jennifer to get home. Yeah. I asked Stephan where he and Jennifer looked for Madeline, and he stated they stayed local. I asked Stephan if they drove anywhere, to which he stated he believed they had not, and that Jennifer's family was driving around. Stephan stated he did not recall driving anywhere the night of February 26th, and that he was socked out on Ativan at that point because he was a wreck, and that he was on so many tranquilizers. Stephan stated he had not needed to take Ativan in a while, but he had been having these panic attacks and had been crying and took it to get sleep that night. Yeah, I think he took that stuff because he knew he did a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. He didn't care about the essaying her. It was the murder that got him all upset. Detective Acosta informed Stephan we were trying to establish a timeline of events, at which point Stephan interrupted and stated he was trying his best, but he was not a morning person, and was trying to give it his best guess. Detective Acosta then stated we knew he drove north on John Young Parkway, had made a left at the McDonald's, to which Stephan agreed, and that he mentioned he had dropped her off around 8:20 to 8:40 hours. Detective Acosta asked Stephan what time he believed he made the first left at McDonald's, to which he stated it was either around 800 hours or a quarter after 8. Detective Acosta shows Stephan on the map the direction he had stated he traveled, to which he again confirmed. Detective Acosta pointed out to Stephan the direction he continued to mention he had traveled was northbound on John Young Parkway. Detective Acosta then asked Stephan why his vehicle was seen traveling southbound in the direction of Kissimmee. Stephan stated he was sorry and that he had forgotten his gate clicker. Yeah. Oh, gotta make up another story. And had driven back to his residence. Stephan advised he went through the front gate and had to use his parking pass to grab his clicker, and that he had provided the wrong times because he was not a morning person. Okay, he's not a morning person. Make sure he's making sure everyone knows that. So obviously this is a problem because, I'm not a morning person. Stephan stated he had almost arrived at the school and that they had plenty of time to kill, which is why he rushed back to get the gate clicker. I asked Stephan if when I looked at the surveillance for the complex, if they were going to show him entering the front gate with Maddie in the front seat, and he stated yes. Detective Acosta asked Stephan if he could not have just waited until after he dropped Madeline off to get his gate clicker, to which he stated he could have, but he liked coming into the complex through the back gate because sometimes they were busy in the front gate and it was better not to wait in a long line. Yeah. Another red flag, the detectives are going, So coming back, wasting more time and gas and going through the gate that time, okay, yeah, that just makes a lot of sense, Sterns. It really does. At this point, I noticed Stephan's phone only contained minimal data on his call history and appeared as if some of the messaging applications had never been used. I stepped away for a second as Detective Acosta continued to speak with Stephan. While I walked away, Stephan informed Detective Acosta he had made a joke to Madeline the morning of February 26th about her Crocs, since she wore Crocs and socks. Stephan described Maddie as a very good girl who brought a lot of joy, and it did not feel the same without her around. Yeah. Stephan stated Maddie had been so happy and that she had been looking forward to him visiting and all of them being together. No, she did not look forward to your visit. You weren't there since the end of the year, 2023. She did not want you there. She did not. Stephan stated Maddie called him her bonus dad. Yeah, I don't think that's true either. Advised they had a very strong bond and that she knew nothing but love in the household. Stephan stated Maddie was doing well in school and she was also singing. He then stated Madeline had sang for him and reminded him of the movie Sister Act, and he told her he was very proud of her. Oh. Yeah, now he's pulling out another story out of his ass. I returned to speak with Stephan and asked him if he would unlock his phone again, which he did. I asked Stephan if he had stated that he did not have his phone the morning he dropped Maddie off. He replied he had forgotten it because he was too busy trying to get Maddie out the door. What a coinky-dink. She forgot her phone and so did you. Of course, this never happened, but in your little story. I asked him if he had his phone when he went to the smoke shop, which he stated he did not the first time, but he did the second time. I informed Stephan when I was looking at his call history, I had noticed he only had a call log February 27th, 2024, and asked if this was usual on his phone. Stephan stated, no, it's a new phone, and ugh, stupid, I went to do an update yesterday morning, and I don't know what the fuck, pardon me, what the heck I did, but somehow during the massive iOS update, I managed to factory reset my phone and lose all my contacts and information. I asked Stephan if he recalled what time that occurred, to which he stated sometime while he was hanging out with Jennifer. I think that would be Jennifer. Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing, Yeah, your dumb act is way too much. I informed Stephan I was going to maintain possession of his phone at this time and asked him to please refrain from going back inside his vehicle. Stephan swore everything he told us was true. Detective Hunt stayed with Jennifer and Stephan. At approximately 20:38 hours, Osceola K-9 responded to 4012 Santa Maria Drive, Kissimmee, Florida, and conducted a track that yielded negative results. Now that would be their Jennifer's home. At this time, Detective Acosta and I responded to the front entrance of the complex and made contact with security in reference to video surveillance. Detective Acosta and I reviewed the surveillance, showing both the front and rear entrance of the complex, which exited onto Dyer Boulevard. In the surveillance footage, I observed a male wearing a red shirt leaving the complex in a 2010 silver Lincoln MKZ through the rear gate at 0750 hours with a female wearing a green sweater in the front seat. This person appeared to be sitting upright with her head slumped over to her left side. At 8:19 hours, I observed a male wearing a red shirt enter the complex to the front gate near North Hoagland Boulevard in the silver Lincoln with someone in the front passenger seat wearing a green sweater and once again slumped over. At 8:31 hours, the male wearing a red shirt left the complex in a silver Lincoln MKZ through the rear gate with a female in the front passenger side completely slumped over to the left. Yeah. It's just sick that he traveled with her deceased in that car. Ugh. Detective Corporal Jessica Alios with Orange County Violent Crimes Unit respond to the scene and continue reviewing surveillance footage. At this time, I, Detective Tagler, was assigned as the lead investigator to this case. Detective Acosta and I returned to the residence, and I asked Detective Hunt to ask everyone in the house to please exit the residence and to secure the residence. I believe this may be an interview with Jennifer. Because she, again, I don't know why they kept redacting her, honestly, out of here, but considering she's not a suspect still, although I think she is a person of interest, but yeah. On February 27th, 2024, Detective Acosta and I conducted a digitally recorded sworn interview with Jennifer Soto at Redacted. Below is a synopsis of her statement. I introduced myself to Jennifer and informed her I was going to be the lead detective on this investigation. I informed Jennifer that Detective Hunt had provided me with a synopsis of what had occurred the day Maddie went missing. I informed Jennifer I had been advised she had a new job, that she had asked Maddie and Stephan to sleep upstairs because she needed to get rest, to which she stated that was correct. According to Jennifer, Maddie had her birthday party on February 25th, 2024, beginning at 1500 hours and ending at an unknown time. She had not attended due to being at work. Jennifer advised her sister had dropped Maddie off at her house at approximately 20:30 hours, and she believed Stephan had arrived shortly after that time. Stephan informed Jennifer that Maddie had taken her nighttime medication and was getting ready for bed, which consisted of taking a shower. Jennifer arrived at the house from work at approximately 22:30 hours and sent Maddie and Stephan to bed at approximately 2300 hours. I asked Jennifer where Maddie and Stephan slept, and she stated upstairs in bedroom number 4. I asked Jennifer if it was normal for Stephan and Maddie to sleep in the same room, to which she stated sometimes she would send them upstairs when she needed a really good night's sleep. Jennifer also advised sometimes they would all sleep together in the king-size bed, and other times Stephan would sleep upstairs, meaning Jennifer sleep upstairs, meaning Jennifer and she would sleep alone. Okay. Let's see. Jennifer advised it usually depended on everyone's schedule the following day. I asked Jennifer what time she had woken up on February 26, 2024, to which she stated she believed sometime between 0800 and 8:15 hours because Stephan had gone into the room to put the leash on the dog. Can you imagine the look on these detectives' faces when she said, "Oh, I just sent them upstairs, to sleep in the same bed because I'm so exhausted. I need to sleep, and, it's normal. We all sleep together." That's not really normal, Jen. It's not normal at all. Jennifer got up to assist Stephan with placing the leash on the dog because she did not want him to pee on the bed. Gee, that would be a tragedy. Jennifer heard people in the kitchen. As far as she knew, Madeline had gone downstairs to get ready for school. Jennifer stated that Maddie had a makeshift room in the living room that had a television, a desk, and a dresser, and a bed. Madeline only used this room to hang out and would never sleep there. I asked Jennifer if she visually observed Madeline on the morning of February 26, 2024, to which she stated no. I asked if she had heard her, and she stated she heard people in the kitchen, but she was not sure if it was her specifically. Jennifer then stated the last time she had physically seen Maddie was on February 25th, 2024 at 2300 hours when she had sent her to bed. On February 26th, Jennifer got out of bed at approximately 0900 hours and left the residence around 9:30 because she had a doctor's appointment scheduled for 10:15 hours. Jennifer returned home between approximately 11 and 11:15 hours and believed Stephan was home at this time. I asked Jennifer what she and Stephan did when they reunited at the residence. Jennifer stated they had chatted for a little bit, and she asked what happened. See, this is right here. This statement totally showed how much of a liar she was. When she first saw the deputies that night, that body cam, and what she told Channel 9. I mean, lies, lies, lies. I asked what she meant, and she stated Stephan had called her around 10:18 hours to let her know he and Maddie had not gone to McDonald's as planned. According to Jennifer, Maddie and Stephan had planned to leave early and have a special breakfast at McDonald's, and he would then drop her off at school early because she wanted to arrive early. Stephan told Jennifer on the way to school Maddie was very sleepy and she wanted to sleep and not get McDonald's and just wanted to get dropped off. He also wanted to let her know he left his phone at home by accident and had gone to the vape shop, but they had not opened on time. Stephan waited for a while in front of the vape shop, and after they did not open, he went back home. Gee, that's a little bit of a deception too. After hanging out with Jennifer for a while, Stephan left again to go to the vape shop to get what he needed. Jennifer then asked if I wanted the name of the vape shop because she believed it might be helpful if I wanted to look at surveillance. Gee, she's so helpful. I then told Jennifer I was advised at some point Stephan had gotten a flat tire and he was not able to go to the school with her. I asked Jennifer to advise me how she became aware Madeline was not at school. Jennifer stated she normally left her residence at approximately 14:30 hours and waited about an hour for her to get out before the bell rang. Jennifer waited the entire time, and when the bell rang, she noticed Madeline was not one of the first to come out like she normally was. Jennifer then realized she was holding up the parent line, and at approximately 16:10 hours, Jennifer drove away. Why would you get there an hour before the bell rang? You live like 10 or 15 minutes away, and then you sat in the parent line, and your daughter doesn't come out, and you don't just park your car and get out and look for her? So many problems with that. Jennifer was not sure if Madeline knew she was going to pick her up, therefore she drove. I believe that's her mother's tax business workplace located at, and that's redacted. Let's see. Jennifer, this is all redacted, so I'm not sure if that's her name there. And checked on the way to see if she observed Madeline walking. When she arrived at her mother's job, she asked if Madeline was there, to which she advised it was still too early. Jennifer then parked on Hunters Park Lane to see if she would see Madeline walking. At approximately 16:30 hours, Jennifer knew Madeline should have reached her mom's office. Jennifer went back to the school's back to her mom's office and asked if she was there yet, and told not yet. Let's see. Jennifer then contacted Maddie's friend, and that's redacted, and asked if she was with her, I guess, was with Madeline. Her friend informed her that she had not gone to school and she was not in the first or second period. She then asked the friend, "What do you mean? We dropped her off close to school. She should have walked to school." The friend informed Jennifer that Maddie was not in any of her periods, and Jennifer then began to panic because she believed something was wrong. Jennifer emailed a few of her teachers, and one replying saying Maddie had not made it to his class and not made it to school at all that day. Jennifer began to freak out and contacted 911. Okay, first of all, I don't believe she panicked. And second of all, Jennifer never called 911. Her mother and I believe her sister did. There was like 3 calls. None of them were from Jennifer. None of them. I asked Jennifer if it was common for Maddie not to have her phone, to which she stated it was common for her to forget it because she has ADHD. Gee, that's another good reason. I got ADHD, and I could count on one hand the times I've forgotten my cell phone. Is extremely forgetful and loses track of time. I asked Jennifer to explain to me where she looked for Maddie, and Jennifer stated after speaking with, her friend, she went to the school to confirm her attendance. However, it was already closed. Jennifer backtracked and drove back to her mom's office. After Stephan heard Maddie didn't show up, he went to Jennifer's mom's office. They all waited for law enforcement to arrive at the office, and they did not return home until they were done speaking with the police. I asked Jennifer where Maddie's phone was at the time that she had gone to pick up Madeline, to which she stated she had taken it with her when she went to pick her up from school. Jennifer advised when Madeline forgot her phone, she would bring it to her when she would pick her up. Jennifer tried to look through Madeline's phone while waiting for the police. However, she was in a panic and handed the phone to her sister and niece. They both went through Madeline's phone, and they did not see anything weird on her phone. Yeah, there's nothing weird on Maddie's phone. It's not Maddie's phone they have to be concerned about. I asked Jennifer where they looked for Madeline, to which she stated it was in the Hunters Creek area and then returned home at approximately 2000 hours to 2100 hours. I asked Jennifer if they went back out after that, to which she advised Stephan had gone back out in the middle of the night in her vehicle. Neither one of them really looked anywhere. She drove down between the school and her mom's office, and maybe did that once or twice to look like she was actually trying, and that's about it. They didn't do nothing. You know why? They knew she was gone. They knew she wasn't just missing. You don't look for something you know is not missing. I explained to Jennifer her residence was going to be secured and everyone was going to have to stay somewhere else for the night. I also explained Stephan's car would be towed to the sheriff's office for processing because Madeline was last seen in Stephan's car. I provided Jennifer with my cell phone, asked her to let me know where she and Stephan were going to stay, and explained to her she could call me at any time if she needed to speak with me. Alright, and then we jump to the second interview of Stephan Sterns. Alright, on February 28th, 2024, Detective Acosta and I conducted a second digitally recorded sworn interview with Stephan Sterns. Below is a synopsis of his statement. February 28th, 2024. Oh, I read that. Sorry about that, guys. I asked if I had consent to download his phone or if I needed a search warrant to collect the contents. Stephan stated it was fine and provided me with his phone PIN, 42586. I wonder if that means anything to him. I advised Stephan that while digital forensics was looking through his phone, they noticed there was a lot of communication between Madeline and him. I asked Stephan to explain to me the relationship between him and Madeline. Stephan stated he was like a stepfather to Madeline and she thinks of him as a dad. No. I asked Stephan what he and Madeline spoke about when they would FaceTime, and he said he would speak to both Madeline and Jennifer. When I asked Stephan if he recalled what time he had factory reset his phone, he stated he was not sure because he was not a morning person but believed it was before he went to the smoke shop. Stephan then stated the update had a weird option about reinstalling everything and he was not paying attention to what he was doing. I asked if he could explain to me how he did the update, and he stated it was a push notification that appeared at the top and he had ignored it for a long time. Stephan stated this took him to a page with a system and he clicked something and he was not sure what happened because he was not paying attention. After starting the update, the phone reset. But that didn't take away all your nasty data. No. I asked Stephan to explain to me what he did when he returned to get his key fob. Stephan stated he parked, ran inside to grab the key fob, got back into his vehicle and left the complex for his morning mission. Now, if that's not telling, I don't know what is. His morning mission. Ugh. Stephan stated after he dropped Maddie off at 8:40 hours, he drove directly to the smoke shop and waited approximately 5 or 10 minutes for them to open. I asked Stephan if he went anywhere else after the smoke shop, and he stated he was probably driving toward the direction of home and did not recall stopping anywhere. I advised Stephan his vehicle was seen heading south again at 1000 hours, and that's what he had done between 8:40 and 1000 hours. Stephan stated he had been cruising around a little bit. Oh, see, now he's got to go. Oh, I forgot. I was kind of wandering around. I told Stephan he had originally stated he had been at the smoke shop for about 5 minutes, and then he headed home. Stephan stated he may have been lingering in the area, but he had made his way home. I advised Stephan I needed help explaining why there was an hour and 20-minute gap, for which he stated he was not sure what to say because it had been a normal day. Stephan again stated the smoke shop was supposed to open soon and he made his way there and he was not in any rush. Stephan again stated he was not able to explain the time delay since he had not gone anywhere in particular. I asked Stephan where he went after the smoke shop and he said home. No. You did not go home. You wandered aimlessly and this detective is got you in a corner. He's got you in a corner and you know it. I asked Stephan if the smoke shop was 10 minutes from his residence, to which he stated it was 15 to 20 minutes. I reminded Stephan that he originally stated it was a 10-minute drive, and he advised time was not a strong suit of his. Detective Acosta asked Stephan what time the smoke shop opened, to which he stated at 1000 hours. Detective Acosta then informed Stephan if it opened at 1000 hours and he dropped Madeline off at 8:40 hours, he would be going an hour before they were scheduled to open. Stephan stated he did not think it would be open, but he hoped he would get there early enough for them to open. Stephan then stated he had arrived about 15 to 20 minutes before they had opened. Stephan then stated he waited a few minutes after 1000 hours for them to open, but he realized they were not opening and he left. Detective Acosta stated he had not waited past 1000 hours since his vehicle was heading southbound on John Young Parkway at 1000 hours. Stephan stated his vehicle was still in front of the smoke shop at 1000 hours waiting for them to turn on the open sign, and I advised Stephan his time frame was not making sense. Yeah, you are lying, dude. According to Stephan, he was trying to help us the best that he could. I reminded Stephan what he had stated and asked how he was there at 1000 hours when it was approximately a 10-minute drive from where he dropped Madeline off. Stephan stated he had taken no particular route to the smoke shop, but he had made his way there. I asked Stephan if he had issues with his memory and stated he was diagnosed with ADHD. He did not have his phone on him and was not sure of the time. I asked if he had a clock in his car, and he stated he believed he did, but he was not in his car. Stephan then stated he was 90% sure he was in the smoke shop parking lot around 1000 hours. Yeah, no you weren't, dude. I asked Stephan if when he returned to get his key fob, Madeline had gone inside with him. Stephan stated she had not been because she was asleep. Yeah, she was asleep. I asked Stephan again about the location where he got his flat tire. Stephan stated everything looked the same and he was drawing a blank about any specific businesses and only recalled pulling into a plaza. Stephan stated he was driving towards John Young Parkway and US 192 when it occurred. Stephan recalled going to a Target on US 192 near Walmart and was going to House of Cards, but got a flat tire somewhere before he got to Oak Street. Stephan was not sure how long it took to change his tire, but believed he returned home at approximately 14:35. Okay, well, from knowing the area, there is a Target in Hunters Creek, and that's not on 192. Okay, that is off of Orange Blossom Trail. And then there's another Target way down 192, not far from 535. So I'm not sure which Target he thinks he was going to. Stephan again apologized and stated his brain did not work properly because he had ADHD. Oh, come on, dude. I have ADHD and my brain works pretty good. You know, I mean, usually you can remember stuff. You just are sporadic and you kind of move from one task to another. It has nothing to do with your memory ADHD. While speaking with Stephan, I noticed he was wearing a blue shirt. In the videos from earlier that day, Stephan was observed wearing a red shirt. Stephan stated he had not changed clothes since the previous morning and did not believe he had showered either. I asked Stephan if I could take a picture of his hands, to which he advised it was fine. I noticed Stephan had a significant scar, approximately 2 to 3 inches long, on the top part of his right wrist. Yeah, I'm wondering if that came from Madeline. Stephan also had minor scratches to the top part of his left hand. I informed Stephan his phone was going to be downloaded overnight and he would probably not get it back until the following morning, and he stated that was fine. On February 28, 2024, at approximately 0100 hours, I left Jennifer's residence. Officers of the Kissimmee Police Department stayed on scene and assured nobody re-entered the residence. Detective Acosta maintained visual contact with the silver Lincoln MKZ bearing Florida tag as it was towed by Ace Wrecker to the Orange County Sheriff's Office Central Operations Center located at 2500 West Colonial Drive, Orlando, Florida. Detective Acosta also took Stephan's cell phone to the Orange County Sheriff's Office Digital Forensics Unit, where Sergeant Darko Stamatic immediately began processing the device. On February 28, 2024, multiple detectives within the Orange County Sheriff's Office responded to the Central Operations Center and began assisting with the investigation. Several orders were authored, including a, not sure what that redacted is, on maybe Madeline's social media. A search warrant on the Silver Lincoln, tracking orders on vehicles bearing the tags 1YLL82, NVJS91, and IN49TI. A search warrant on somebody's residence. A search warrant on Madeline's Discord account. Google search warrant on email address. I believe that's probably Stephan's. And an infotainment system search warrant on the GPS located in the Lincoln. So I'm thinking it's possible that some of these may be search warrants on, because there's 3 vehicles here, maybe one of them on Grandma's car. Please see all supplements for further information. During this time, it was discovered Jennifer's vehicle had been driven on February 27, 2024 between the hours of 03:27 and 04:25 hours in the area of US 192. Jennifer's vehicle also traveled on February 28, 2024 between the hours of 4:42 and 10:55 hours between US 192 and Southwest to Northport, Florida. Huh, that's interesting. After Stephan's phone had been successfully downloaded the morning of February 28th, Sergeant D. Stanek within the Digital Forensics Unit contacted Corporal Avila to advise him there was a child sexual abuse material CSAM on Stephan's cell phone. During a review of the pictures, we observed several images that contained Madeline performing oral sex on a penis, Madeline being penetrated both B and A with a penis, and Madeline posing nude. I'm trying to be very careful here on YouTube, folks. In these pictures, the background was readily identifiable, and we were able to determine these incidents occurred at, I believe that would be their condo in Kissimmee, Florida. In a picture located on Stephan's phone, we observed a black mark near the tip of the shaft in the picture of a peepee. At this time, the Kissimmee Police Department was advised of the findings, and Detective Corporal Brandon Illigan, KPD, and Detective Mark Morris, KPD, responded to the Central Operations Center. The search warrant for Jennifer's residence was served on February 28, 2024 at approximately 0800 hours. In the residence, detectives were able to locate several items observed in the CSAM images located on Stephan's phone. While conducting the investigation early on the afternoon of February 28, 2024, members of Jennifer's family requested to travel to Orange County Sheriff's Office Central Operations Center to attend the sheriff's press conference. Jennifer and Stephan were offered a ride by Detectives Hunt and Acosta. They agreed to the rides and were driven separately. Good idea. Upon their arrival, Detective Corporal Illigan, Detective Morris, and I made contact with Jennifer. Please see Kissimmee Case number 24-001809 for further details. As we spoke to Jennifer, members of the Violent Crime Squad, VCS, continued to canvass the area for video surveillance. Prior to finishing the interview with Jennifer, I advised the VCS had located a video of Stephan discarding something in the trash compactor located in his apartment complex on February 26, 2024 at 0735 hours. In this video, they observed a female wearing a green sweater in the front passenger seat of the vehicle. The female appeared to be completely slumped over with her mouth ajar. At this time, Detective Berlardes established custody of the trash compactor until Waste Management arrived for their regularly scheduled pickup. Detective Berlardes then followed the trash compactor to 4978 LB McLeod Road, Orlando, Florida, where the compactor was emptied. Contact was made with Waste Management District Manager Antonio Roman, who provided a separate area for the compactor to be emptied. Antonio was provided an approximate date and time that Stephan Sterns was seen throwing a tire into the compactor. Based on that information, Antonio was able to provide an approximate location where the tire would be located in the contents of the compactor. Tell you what, searching garbage in compactors is rough. The Orange County Sheriff's Office Forensics Unit responded to the location and was able to locate the intact tread of a tire, which they advised matched the tread pattern of the rear passenger tire of Stephan's vehicle. In close proximity to the tire, the crime scene investigators located a white trash bag that contained a black backpack with what appeared to be a purple Hawaiian print and a white crock. Inside the backpack, CSIs located an Orange County Public School computer with Madeline's name on it. Based on this information, it was determined the backpack and its contents belonged to Madeline. The forensics unit collected the tire, backpack, and crock. Upon reviewing the evidence, it was determined the Kissimmee Police Department would be taking the lead in the case and was subsequently turned over. The Orange County Sheriff's Office remained active in a support role. Detective Corporal Illigan and Detective Morris conducted a video and audio recorded sworn interview of Stephan at the Central Operations. See Kissimmee Police Department case number 224-001809 for further details. After Stephan's interview, the Orange County Sheriff's Office Forensics Unit responded to interview room 1 in the Central Operations Center in reference to a DNA search warrant for Stephan. During this warrant, the CSI took several pictures of Stephan's body and pee-pee and collected all of his clothing. Detective Junico and I located a black mark on Stephan's pee-pee, which was consistent with the pee-pee pictures on his cell phone. Pictures of Stephan's scar on his right wrist were also taken. Stephan was taken into custody for the arrest warrant authored by detectives with the Kissimmee Police Department for sexual battery, familial/custodial authority, and possession of material sexual performance by a child. Following the interview and search warrant of redacted's vehicle was towed to Central Operations Center. Yikes. Tell you what, these guys have done an excellent job. I mean, and the agencies coming together, it's very, very impressive to me. And these are my local departments, and I am very impressed and proud of their work. And this is an incident report from Orange County Sheriff's Office. On February 29th, 2024, the Orange County Sheriff's Office continued to assist the Kissimmee Police Department by continuing to canvass and search areas Stephan had traveled. A search warrant for redacted's vehicle was authored and served on February 29th, 2024. On March 1st, 2024, Detective Leonard Jones responded to the area of Destination Parkway and John Young Parkway to canvass for evidence. During that time, Detective Jones responded to Holiday Inn Club Vacations, located at 9271 South John Young Parkway, Orlando, Florida. While reviewing the surveillance, Detective Jones observed that at approximately 0940 hours, the target vehicle, which is the silver gray Lincoln MKZ, turned onto the above business property from Emissary Avenue, then proceeded to their parking garage. While in the parking garage, a male wearing a dark hat, red shirt, and tan pants exited the vehicle and opened the trunk. The male then walked to the front passenger side of the vehicle, opened the door, and proceeded to carry what appeared to be a limp body to the trunk of the vehicle. See Detective Jones' supplement for further details. On March 1st, 2024, the Kissimmee Police Department issued a bulletin requesting information from the public. In the bulletin, KPD advised Stephan had changed a flat tire in the area of US 192 and Old Hickory Tree Road. Kissimmee Police Department later received a tip stating she had observed a male matching Stephan's description and vehicle change a tire and directed them to the location. Deputies with the Osceola County Sheriff's Office responded to the scene and located what appeared to be a female wearing a green sweater and blue jeans in the wooded area. Detective Illigant and Detective Morris responded to 5680 Hickory Tree Road, Kissimmee, Florida, where they confirmed, it was the body of Madeline Soto. On March 1st, 2024, at approximately 1916 hours, I spoke with teletype operator Manisco EID 7983, who removed Madeline from NCIC FCIC as missing. This concludes my involvement in the recovery of Madeline Soto. Yeah, this is a lot, guys. And we're only to 37. I'm going to try to get us a little bit further here. It looks like this is there's not much there, but then you have property. They found one female black shorts with a white stripe, and then one pink female undergarment. Let's see. On 2/27/2024, Deputy Joseph responded to redacted Florida in efforts to retrieve scent articles related to Madeline Soto. I'm going to assume that is their condo. And those are the articles that they used for the sniffer dog. With the articles collected, I was able to provide the clothing to the canine unit, and they completed a track. And again, that goes back to that body cam video of the dog trying to track by the church in Hunters Creek. And they're mentioning the same two pieces of clothing again. And it's the same, looks like it's a copy of the same thing. And this is an Orange County Sheriff's Office victim. This looks like it's probably Madeline. Yeah, it's describing Madeline there. Oh, let's see. Okay. On February 28th, 2024, at approximately 038 hours, Detective Julie Junko responded to redacted in reference to assisting Detective Maria Tagler with a search warrant at the residence. The above residence was located with the redacted. Below is a synopsis of my involvement with this case. Scene security. When I arrived on scene, Orange County Sheriff's Office, Corporal Kenneth Dale, and detectives from the Kissimmee Police Department were there securing the scene. I assisted with maintaining scene security until the OCSO Forensics Unit responded to process the residence. Prior to conducting the search, detectives at the site of the search were notified by detectives at OCSO's Central Operations Building that there was evidence of SA toward Madeline at the hands of her stepfather, Stephan Sterns. The evidence was located on Sterns' cellular device. Some of the SA appeared to have occurred at that address. He's not her stepfather, but yeah, I guess they've gone back and forth with how they refer to him. Contact with Redacted, which is the victim's aunt and the victim's grandmother. At approximately 9:54 hours, Redacted approached detectives on the scene. I spoke with them, and a portion of our conversation was audio recorded by Detective Matthew Chiang. Below is a synopsis of our conversation. Redacted requested an update and said detectives had already interviewed them. They did not have additional information to provide that was not already known. Redacted were visibly emotional and appeared concerned for Madeline's well-being. Redacted said she did not believe Madeline ran away because she believed that Madeline would not do that. They described Madeline's recent birthday celebration and did not know of any reason why Madeline would be upset. To their knowledge, Madeline had not been in communication with any of their family members since she had been reported missing. Yeah, so not to say that the family couldn't have done something, but I don't know. I don't think the aunt and stuff had anything to do with it. I don't think they knew. It's just sad. It really is. Room number 4. At approximately 11:30 hours, I assisted with searching a room in the residence on the second floor, identified by a chrome number 4 on the outside of the door. Inside of the room, I located a black backpack, which had one bottle of Solo lotion in it. The back of the bottle identified the product as masturbation cream. I photographed the item, pointed it out to crime scene investigator Shia Janik, and she collected it. Nasty. At approximately 11:50 hours, Detective Leonardo Sari and Detective Matthew Chiang and I made contact with Detective Tagler and Detective Kyle Cole via the phone. Via a video call, they showed us digital photographs of presumably Sterns SEXing abusing Madeline. The purpose of viewing the child sexual abuse material, CSAM, via video phone call was to ensure the correct evidence was collected and to preserve to the best of our abilities. We examined the clothing worn by both Madeline and Sterns, along with surrounding items such as sheets, blankets, and other articles of clothing. We were able to identify some of the items seen in the photographs in a downstairs area that was previously described by detectives as Madeline's room. The space appeared to be in the living room of the apartment, turned into a bedroom with a folding room divider between the bedroom space and the kitchen dining room. This area was located on the far right of the apartment's first floor when you enter from the front door. The items we located were documented and collected by CSI Janik. Contact with Ray Oritz, Operations Manager for Security. At the conclusion of the search, I made contact with Corporal Evan Avila via the phone. Corporal Avila notified me the front office staff of the complex had been working on providing video surveillance from the complex. An unknown staff member stated the process to provide the video was going to take approximately 6 hours due to how it had to be viewed and downloaded from the system. At approximately 13:45 hours, I made contact with Redacted, who identified himself as the operations manager for security. I provided him with my direct agency phone number and requested he notify me immediately when the video surveillance was ready to be collected. He provided his phone number. I did not hear back from Redacted, but later found out he had been in communication with other OCSO detectives. OCSO's Central Operations. After speaking with Redacted, I went to OCSO's Central Operations Building. While there, I maintained security outside of an interview room where Sterns was located and waiting to be interviewed. KPD detectives interviewed Sterns, and I monitored a portion of the interview electronically from a room nearby. At the conclusion of the interview, I assisted KPD detectives with collection of photographs, clothing, and DNA samples from Sterns' person based on a signed warrant that they had. I located a black freckle or mark on Sterns' peepee that was visible in some of the photographs videos found while examining the videos of Sterns S.A.ing Madeline. In the photograph used to compare the mark, presumably Sterns is wearing a red and white Deadpool shirt which was seen in multiple photographs where Madeline was being SA'd. OCSO CSI Ivory Smith collected the evidence. This collection was conducted on the same audio and video recording as Sterns' interview. At some point, while Sterns was in the interview room, I took a vape pen from him, which I discarded in the trash at KPD's discretion. Evidence examination. At one point, while examining the photographs of Madeline being SA'd to ensure all potential evidence was collected, I located a photograph of Sterns with his face visible and his tongue on, presumably, Maddie's nipple. The photograph was titled 20220722 _ 041546 JPEG and was found in an album full of photographs of CSAM abuse material of Madeline. So that's probably from 2022. Ugh. Waste management information. On February 29th, 2024, Corporal Avila requested I gather information on the trash collection procedures at the complex Sterns and Jennifer lived in. At approximately 1000 hours, I made contact with Waste Management by calling, and that's their number. I spoke with Cree, who was unable to access the information for the requested address. Cree transferred me to Ray, referred to as such from the Florida area WM Commercial Department. He said WM collected the compactors from Redacted and Redacted. The trash will be taken to the Orlando Transfer Station on LB McLeod Road, serviced by WM Orlando on Rio Vista Avenue. It is unknown how long the trash will remain before it would be transferred to either Pine Ridge Landfill in Winter Garden or the Vista Landfill in Apopka. WM was the residential hauler for all of Osceola County, meaning they picked up any trash from individual residences. They also hauled for any commercial property within the city limits for Kissimmee, Florida. Ray said he was the only Ray in the Florida WM Commercial Department, but he could not provide a phone number to be directly connected to him again. He provided a more direct number for the Commercial Department. Emergency Response Team, ERT Command Post. On March 1st, 2024, at approximately 0922 hours, Corporal Avila asked me to respond to 9400 South Park Center Loop, Orlando, Florida, in reference to meeting with OCSO's ERT team. While I was there, I was the liaison, sorry guys, getting tongue-tied reading all this, between ERT and the Criminal Investigations Division. At approximately 1240 hours, I was notified ERT located large bones in the wooded area. I notified Corporal Avila, who was with Corporal Alexander Richards from the OCSO's homicide unit. Corporal Richards instructed me to contact the ME's office to show them the bones in order to determine if they were from a human. I collected the photographs of the bones and sent them to the ME per Dr. Zykowitz. They are a non-human. The ME stated the bones still needed to be collected and submitted to them. At approximately 1302 hours, I contacted OCSO's forensics and spoke with CPI Janik, who responded out to collect the bones. I documented this under OCSO case number 24-012107. ERT units located a camera at 2405 Commerce Park Drive in Orlando, Florida. I sent this information to Corporal Avila and requested he have a unit respond to check the cameras. OCSO's Violent Crimes Squad located video footage of Sterns' vehicle at the above address and then were able to trace him to other nearby locations where I was told Sterns was seen moving Madeline from the front seat of his vehicle to the trunk. ERT located a pair of underwear and a dress in the same wooded area the bones were in, but further south. CSI Janik collected both items. On March 1st, 2024, OCSO received confirmation Madeline had been located deceased in Osceola County. This concluded my involvement with this investigation. And this looks like it's a paperwork from sex crimes. And I guess we're going to stop there. That's a good stopping point, I think. Wow. So that's a lot. Okay. It's a lot to take in, and we're only like 50 pages in. So I'm trying to keep this around an hour, but you guys let me know if you prefer longer parts or shorter parts. I'm going to try to go through it the next few nights. But again, let me know. But most of all, this is going to be very, very tough to read, okay? This is very, very tough to read. And since I'm reading it, it's going to be tough for you guys to hear it. So please, please take care of yourselves first. If you feel like you can't listen to parts of it or any of it, please just, feel free to not listen. I mean, you can still be all in for justice for Madeline and not know all these details. It's a lot, and it's horrible. Not only the SA that she went through, but everything that she went through from after the moment that Stearns killed her. This poor girl lived a horrific life from the time she was 8 when Stearns came into their world. And she was groomed, and again, I don't know if her mom had anything to do with the murder, but I find it hard to believe, okay? I find it very, very hard to believe that she didn't know what was going on in her own home. She really would have to be completely with her head up, what, okay? At the least, she's negligent and she lied to police. She lied multiple times. But I believe that she's far more guilty than that. Far more guilty. But we all know that these agencies and Kissimmee Police Department, who is in charge of it, they have been doing an exceptional job. So we have to sit back and let them do their job, because we're not the detectives. We're not the CSI. We're not the DA's office. And as much as I want her to be charged, and as much as we want all this stuff to come through, we have to trust what they're going to make their decisions on. And I hate to think that she's going to get a proffer, but we also need to realize that that's a real possibility. It really is. But let me know you guys' thoughts on this stuff so far in the comments, and I'll be back tomorrow with part number 2. All right, guys, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and most of all, stay safe.